think we are connecting and we're live. All right, folks. I am Kurt Van Anen. I am the host of the Mañana No Mas morning check-in, and I am super pleased to see you here once again. I just got home. It's been a great morning so far. Got up, my wife and son went down to the beach. Hayden's got surf lessons. My daughter's into figure skating. She had some ice time over at the rink. She had the whole rink to herself. Got a couple of nice videos of her. You know, she's been doing this for about a year and a half now. She's got her own site called Rainy Days Skating, and she's got an Instagram and a podcast. And you know, for a 16-year-old, she is really pumping the pump and putting some things together because she's found a passion point. She's found something that she likes to do, and she's found ways to promote that and to kind of embed herself into something of a future if she chooses to go that way. And, one of those things where lead by example, right? Leaders lead by example. And she is following the example, and she's doing really, really well at it. In fact, in some cases, I would think she's actually doing better than me at it. So I'm really excited about that. It was a good morning. We had a nice little snack to reward ourselves, and now I'm in here talking to you folks. Now, people that get the email list every day. Today, I didn't send one. I'm going to send one a little bit later. I'll probably put this video in it. But I'm going to send one a little bit later and tell folks that, I'm probably going to take a couple days and really wrap my head around a couple of other projects that I really want to make some headway with, right? It's important that we recognize, opportunities, and that we look at our key performance indicators, and we recognize when we need to pull back the reins a little bit and double down on something else. And I've been working on a book, and I need to focus more on completing the next couple portions of that book. I've got a challenge that I'm putting together, an online challenge in the power sports industry that I'll be launching with the Power Sport Roundtable on the 29th. I've got meetings to put together with the fellas in regards to the Power Sport Roundtable, and I just need to take a little bit of time. So I probably will skip the daily emails to finish out this week, other than sharing the daily YouTube video, and then just focus on the work. Folks, I got to tell you, the reward of sowing the seed and then seeing the harvest come in it's such a fulfilling, such an awesome reward that I really pray that people get to experience that. You got to follow through. So many people give up too early, and they fail to see the win. And these are the folks that you see saying, well, I tried this, that, and the other thing, but it doesn't work. Everyone says to do this, but I tried it. It doesn't work. Right. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. I say this all the time, you got to do the work. And then when you do the work and you start to see that harvest come in, the sensation, the feeling is amazing, and that's why capitalism works and communism does not. Because if you just reward everybody, whether they follow through and put in the work and drive until the harvest comes in, right? If you reward everybody, regardless of whether they put in that effort and that passion or not, then what's the sense, right? And so it is, it's been an amazing couple of weeks here at the workshop. Now, I'm just going to touch on something because I feel like I need to. And I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do, folks. You know what? Maybe I start another channel and I just vomit my real opinions about stuff and become that guy. I probably won't, right? I see a lot of these YouTube channels where people are just complaining, whether it's the right or the left, just complaining. And I keep thinking to myself, pointing out injustice and pointing out gaps, pointing out discussions about equality, there's value to that. But where are the options? Where are the the goals and the positives that can come out of those conversations? Where are the conversations that talk about options and coming together and moving forward? And that's what I'd like to see on the back end of that. again, whether you're listening to Rachel Maddow or Ben Shapiro, at the end of the day, when you're done listening to them rant for 45 minutes, what was your takeaway? Like, what was your action item? How did you feel that you could go and improve the situation and somehow come together with fellow human beings? And that's where I don't see things coming. I'm just going to throw this out there. I mean, never in my adult life, never have I seen a president weigh in on a case, especially before the decision was made. That blew my mind. When Biden was saying, we hope that the jury makes the correct decision and that justice is served and that we can get, off the neck of people affected by systemic racism. It's obvious he didn't look at any of the evidence presented in the case, because the evidence in the case said that he didn't rest on the neck of George Floyd, right? So to use that term was really out of place. And so many things in the evidence that was presented precluded guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And the charges themselves contradict and conflict with each other, because one charge is like, you have to knowingly with intent, do harm to somebody. And the other thing is like, you unknowingly harm somebody, right? And so, through negligence. And so when you say you're guilty of both, well, how can you be guilty of both? Because the definition of the charge doesn't match the decision. And so in less than 10 hours, a group of 12 people went over the facts that they saw for 3 weeks, and they made up a decision. This while riots were happening, while they weren't sequestered, while a witness was knowingly bullied. That actually came up in the news. This is scary stuff. And regardless of where you sit on the issue, right? Regardless of where you sit on the issue, this is scary stuff. Just yesterday, I heard that there was something like 47 mass shootings, since Biden came into office. And that was just a weird thing and they said it on NPR radio, which I thought was weird, because they were making it like, we need more gun control. This is out of control. This is crazy. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's a big uptick in mass shootings since the new administration came in. There's just a lot going on. So when I see that, I'm always drawn to how would you make that better? How can you communicate with people? How can you share facts and ideas and concepts, in a bipartisan manner, in a forum where people aren't yelling and screaming at each other, and you can just say, hey man, this is the way I saw that. This is the way I saw that. And why do you think you feel that way? And why do you think you feel that way? And, how can we move forward through this? That's what we expect, the House and Congress and Senate. Now, we expect them to be able to do that. And instead, what they're doing is, inciting riots and then accusing each other of inciting riots, right? And it's just really frustrating right now. The idea that I'm raising 2 kids in an atmosphere that is by far nuttier than anything I experienced in my life is really kind of strange. And I'm kind of, like I said, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to disconnect a little bit from social. I've got work to do. I've got an article I want to write for a software company. I've got a book that I'm working on. I got a challenge I have to have done and ready, in the can to launch by the 29th. And then, of course, we're launching that big, webinar on the 29th for people in the power sports industry. So yeah, I've got a lot of things in the kettle right now, right? So I want to make sure that all those irons in the fire are getting treated properly. And I'm going to take a short break from the daily emails, and I'll still come in here and pop in and say something in the morning with you guys and keep the YouTube going, and posting that up to LinkedIn. But I really, really just need to take some of that time that goes into those email preps and reallocate that to some projects I have with deadlines. So I hope you guys understand. And if you want to become part of that list, I say in almost every video, but in case you're new to the Mañana Nomás morning check-in, you go to the mañananomás.com website, you click on Academy, a new page opens up. Halfway down that page is a form you fill in to join the mail list. And then you get, the free ebooks and the workshops and the workbooks and the worksheets and just the different articles that I'll write on about different things. You'll get access to all of that. And it's just the shopping cart approach. Whatever works or whatever suits you, consume. Whatever's not up your alley, ignore until the next email comes in. But it's my way of paying it forward and adding value. And very, very rarely do I give you an option to buy something in those, right? It's usually just sharing information. And I've got a ton of content, a ton of it. And it's like, to hoard all that and not share it feels like a crime. And so I share as much of that as I can. And I offer that as just a value added service for knowing me. On top of that, if you are not connected to me on LinkedIn, or if you know somebody that you think I should be connected to on LinkedIn, hit the connect button. Let's see what happens, right? Chances are you'll get an invite to have a short meeting with me. We'll do a discovery meeting and we'll see how we can add value to each other. Be a good time. Folks, that's it for today. Today is April 21st. It is a Wednesday, and I pray that your day is just fantastic.